What is up guys, Bounds here and welcome to round 5 of the McLaren career modes here on the channel, and as promised, a day after Sochi. A race with lots of corner cutting, lots of fights, and a decent P6 finish I would say. Unfortunate not to get P5, but Valtteri Bottas did get us in the last couple of laps there. So the R&D, we will have the engine ready for next time out in Monaco then, with a couple of R&D points to spare after Monaco's practice. And as you can see, that will take us ahead ever so slightly of Toro Rosso in the actual R&D battle. So we will have a much better car, as you can see. P4 in the standings, going extremely well, still ahead of both Red Bulls. And I believe, as you see there, our teammate in P16, very poor from Fernando Alonso, as we are P4 in the Constructors. So here we are then to start qualifying, opening the DRS, coming down towards the first braking zone at well over 200 miles an hour, 210 miles per hour there, braking at the 100 metre board, sweeping it in, clipping the curb on the right, clipping the curb on the left, flowing the car through then into the very long turn 3, very difficult corner on a pad. You can understeer quite a lot, or indeed turn too much. It's all about timing your actual turning point correctly, and then this corner, very easy to understeer or take it too tight depending on your setup, depending whether you're going for that straight line speed or for the mid-speed corners here in the middle of the track. So this chicane, I do like this chicane, as the car can get a bit loose after the first part of the chicane. This corner, favourite part of the track. It's a very quick right-hander with a blind crest, and if you take too much speed into there or don't quite use enough steering lock, you can go straight into the gravel on the left-hand side, taking out the DRS zone. This chicane then, another decent corner on the track, which I do like. Going around there in third gear, getting on the power early as we come up to the chicane. We want to avoid that curb on the inside, which unfortunately we didn't there, and that compromised our entire lap really. That cost us quite a bit of time, but fortunately the rest of the lap was relatively clean, so I do believe this will be a good time here as we set a 22.6 and go provisional P9. As you see there, Kimi Raikkonen getting a 5th-place grid penalty, and Rosberg, thanks Crofty, Fernando Alonso finishing in P7, which is usually our position, but 122.1 there, and we only got P14 with the 122.1. But regardless, here we are with 5 lights at the start of the race, and we are underway for the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix. And we, of course, starting in 14th, this is going to be extremely vital to get to turn 1 alive and get through turn 1 intact. As you see the Ferrari of Kimi Raikkonen there, right in the middle. And I went to look up the inside here of the Force India. Now, the only reason I did that was because I did not see the Toro Rosso out on the left-hand side there. I did not want to make it 4 wide, but 4 wide is what happened. Certainly what happened. Unfortunately, we got away with it as a Toro Rosso, a Renault, goes backwards into the gravel trap there. We'll have to take another look to see what did happen here. As we are on board with the Haas, and the Renault just understeers into the Haas and goes backwards into the gravel trap, and this did cause a safety car which restarted on lap 4. So here we are then, looking to resume racing as we see a massive cloud of smoke as Daniel Ricciardo's engine gives way, and he goes to come back onto the track there, and he hits Kimi Raikkonen, who is collected by the Williams of, I believe that was Felipe Massa, and having to go through a wreck full of smoke at 160 miles an hour was extremely scary. Just really looking to maintain as much speed as possible and just to get out alive first and foremost. So let's have another look then. As you can see, as the restart gets underway, puts on a little bit of power and the engine starts to give out, and then when he goes to floor it around the final corner, his engine gives way completely, runs into the gravel and comes back on the inside then of the track and hits Kimi Raikkonen and is collected by Felipe Massa. So that was a huge accident, and I'm amazed that didn't take either of them out of the race and cause another safety car. So we rejoin on lap 5 with Danny Kvyat going into the pits then. So the strategy for this race was definitely a one-stop, as you see there, going onto the hard tyres next. So medium hards, as the straight line speed of the Williams and the Ferrari goes straight past us, absolutely no problem, easy as you like. Raikkonen on the inside then of Bottas at turn 1, but Bottas will have the inside line for turn 2, but there's just not quite enough room as Bottas understeers into Kimi Raikkonen. Unfortunately, we couldn't take advantage there. If we were a bit closer, we had that bit more acceleration, we could definitely capitalise and got Bottas and maybe even Raikkonen But now Sergio Perez is right behind us then as we rejoin on lap 6 with Bottas and Raikkonen going into the pits. So down this straight here, the Mercedes powered Force India of Sergio Perez, really surprised it didn't get us there actually. Very good defensive driving there, I'd say very good defensive driving as we cut the second part of the chicane. Well done, Bounds. Nice corner cutting as always there, always on form. As we go into P1 then, with Perez having another go at us, with Hulkenberg maybe potentially looking to try and get through, but we outbrake Perez again and cover the inside line for the second part of the chicane yet again. So coming on to lap 9 then, is he going to have another go? He's much closer this time. He's set up perfectly here. Flies past us with the DRS. We're struggling to keep up in the slipstream then, getting to 211 miles an hour, braking at the 200 meter board, or the 100 meter board, sorry. Diving up the inside of the first part of turn 1 and making it stick on the exit of turn 2 as we come to lap 10. He's going to have yet another go. Again, choosing the outside line to get the inside line of turn 2, arguably the better spot to actually go. And this time, couldn't really intimidate him there. He did a much better job of actually getting the overtake done that time. This time, we'll be attacking him on lap 11. Now, I wasn't too sure how this was going to go with a weak engine, but fortunately with the DRS hitting 218 miles an hour there, very late on the brakes, take him into turn 1 relatively easily, back on the apex at turn 2, so made that stick nice there. So here we are then, coming on to lap 12, and Perez yet again just could not break the guy's DRS zone. Just could not get away from him as he's going to have another look, this time around the outside, and nope, not going to get it done that way. Sergio's coming to lap 13, this is becoming a very recurring theme, isn't it? Again, he goes to the outside, no real shock there. This time we're further down the straight that we can't slip back into the slipstream. And get closer to him in the braking zone then, and he makes that move stick on lap 13 as we try to follow him here through turn 3. Will we have a look at him into turn 4? Indeed we shall if we are close enough, just trying to intimidate him there into a mistake, making ourselves as big as possible in his mirrors. So lap 14 then, with DRS on, Sergio Perez in rich revs, as you can see, 2.5 laps of fuel to play with. This time I don't think we're going to be close enough as we brake a little bit late there on the worn tyres and almost hit the back of Sergio Perez. Certainly nearly ending our race, maybe even Sergio's as we come into the pits now on lap 15. There's Rio Haryanto there in 3rd place. The absolute scenes when Rio Haryanto is provisionally on a podium, so we'll be putting on the hard tyres then to go on to the final stint of the race. This is a very crucial stint here, it's very important to get out of Sergio Perez, and as you see there, the team decided to put on mediums, and that's a problem for 2 reasons. One, it's not the tyre that we actually wanted and won't get us to the end of the race if those 16 laps, including a safety car or anything to go by. And 2, it's an illegal strategy, we have to use another compound, so we got absolutely fucked over there by the team. I was really pissed off about this as we go around the outside of Sergio Perez, who for some fucking reason decided to brake on the exit of the pits. So this really fucked up our race. We were on, definitely with Nico Hulkenberg holding up the rest of the field there, acting as rear gunner for Sergio Perez. We were definitely on course for fighting for a podium, potentially a win, although it seems very unlikely. The Mercedes probably would have caught us towards the end of the race, as they have here, with everybody being on mixed strategies. Us of course hadn't pitted yet. The Mercedes had just gone in to make their pit stop. So the race hasn't gone well, really. I mean, it was going well, and then the game completely fucked us over. As you saw, we had the hard tyres selected the entire time. Jeff came on the radio and said there's a viable strategy change, and all this was pitting a lap earlier for the undercut, still going on the hards, and yet the mediums were put on as we come in on lap 26 then to put on our alternate compound, which will be the softs of course. There's really no point going on the hards for the last few laps, it's just no point at all really. And at this point I was still extremely pissed off about what happened, but coming out there I could see that points were still in sight. Indeed there is our teammate Fernando Alonso as we get on behind him then onto the pit straight. And with equal cars, we should definitely be able to get him into turn 1 with the slipstream, although he's definitely got it on Carlos Sainz there. So he will have a look at the inside of Sainz into turn 1 and pushes Sainz out wide a little bit, straight into our path, and we can get around Carlos Sainz nice and easily then on the soft tyres, with Sainz being on relatively worn at this point. I would imagine hards. I would imagine they'd be relatively worn, as we would probably look to do the same to our teammate then, who is also on the inferior compound of tyre. Inferior at the moment, of course. Now the plan was to basically get ahead of Alonso as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, no team orders in this game, as we were trying to catch Danny Kvyat there, who you can see just went around the corner in P8. So I was looking to push as quickly as possible as we go side by side with Alonso. He's still, that really amazed me there. The AI stuck with it. There's a little bit of contact going there up the right hander. It amazed me that Alonso stuck in that. It was great racing. Of course, we are rivals, and he does want to win this rivalry here. Does not want to be beaten by a rookie. Remember, the last time Alonso was at McLaren and a rookie came through, didn't really end too well, did it? So, lap 32 then. Just starting lap 32, our soft tyres have gone off. So Fernando Alonso on the harder compound really came into play. I just for some reason could not break the DRS radius. I don't know how. I really don't know how. But he stuck with us and got us on the penultimate lap then, and we just couldn't close back up. As you can see, Carlos Sainz having a look at us, and we will finish P10 for this race. So P10, not happy with that at all. I mean, it is a point, which is always a good thing for McLaren Honda. First time we've been beaten by our teammate all season, apart from China, where we DNF'd, thanks to Romain Grosjean, but really not happy at all, especially with how well Force India scored. We dropped down to 5th in the championship. Not too bothered about that. I really didn't expect to be beaten either the Mercedes or the Ferraris. I would like to potentially beat one of the Red Bulls. As you can see, we're ahead of both of them still. Alonso's really nowhere in the championship at the moment, P16, but I'm sure we can turn that around, and you can see there just how crucial that was. We're now in P4, still in P4, but only 3 points ahead of Force India then, and only 11 points ahead of Williams, so the fight for 4th is definitely hotting up here. And the next few races could definitely be crucial. We're looking to get the R&D as soon as possible, but then I think with the progress we're making we should be okay, but I digress. So anyway guys, this has been round 5, episode 4 of this career mode, so please do like the video, as it really helps me out a lot and gives me a lot of motivation to continue doing this series daily, which I'm having a lot of fun with. And please subscribe, and I will see you next time, which will be tomorrow in Monaco. Goodbye.